Goals.
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 Relationship goals.
Goals. If you've ever scrolled through any social media platform, chances are you've been exposed to the goals phenomenon. Young people of today are obsessed with the idea of a perfect relationship. The idea is omnipresent, whether liking the posts of famous Instagram couples or tweeting high-standard date expectations. Many fail to realize that just about anyone can pose for a cute photo. A perfect life beyond the pixels is hardly ever attained, and the idea of it establishes an unhealthy societal perception.
A lot of people consider that to be like goals, like, like put me on showcase, I want to be presented like, yes, this is my significant other.
As far as goals for a relationship on social media, speaking as a single person, would look for is someone who's not, doesn't place too much emphasis on that kind of stuff, because that bothers the crap out of me.
Goals to me in a relationship, or otherwise known as #goals, would be something that a single person or a person in a stale relationship views as something that they don't currently have and they want it. They see like a perfect couple taking a picture on the beach with a beautiful sunset behind them, nice backdrop, toes in the sand, love in the air. That's their goal,
It is evident that all interviewees see social media goals as couples posting pictures with a magical backdrop, when in reality they value moments with their romantic partner that involve settled dates. These goals portrayed on social media can seem unrealistic to some individuals, and sometimes this creates false expectations when someone enters a romantic relationship.
I think I've definitely seen like other people's relationships on social media and like how they do things, and then like had that in my mind, just like, oh, that's how it's supposed to be, like, you're supposed to spend every waking moment together. When you get to like reality, it's just like every person's circumstance is different, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot more individuality within like people's experiences.
Yeah, I think social media places an unnecessary burden on people's relationships, because you see the way that other people present, like you're saying, you see the way people present themselves, but that's not how they actually are. And so you see that idealized, quote unquote idealized image of like a perfect couple, but it's not how people actually behave. And so when your own relationship doesn't measure up to that, you feel sad, and then you break up, and then you're alone.
For me, I guess in a way, just because you can see what kind of trends there are in relationships, but definitely for girls. I mean, they got some high standards when it comes to relationship goals.
I would say that personally, I don't let social media affect my relationship. I know that it can get in between a lot of people. I'm currently not in a relationship, by the way, but social media, it can only bring people apart. So therefore, I try to like stay detached from everyone else's views of what a relationship is supposed to be, because I know down in my soul what a good and healthy relationship is. So I block out the #haters.
How has the viewing of social media relationships influenced expectations of what a relationship is like prior to you being involved in one?
Wait.
I would say that viewing relationships on social media does set like unfair standards sometimes, because not everybody is the same, and people show affection in different ways. But I wouldn't say it has really affected our relationship too much.
Yeah, I don't think it's affected our relationship, but you do see the other things, and I guess since we don't rely on that in our relationship, that it's easier to see how it's not important, and that people like to show these things, but also that doesn't guarantees. Like,
Yeah, you don't have to.
According to an academic article published by Sonia Utz and Camille J. Bucheboom, satisfaction in relationships translates to satisfaction while using social media in a relationship. The couple we interviewed valued certain aspects of their relationship a lot more than they valued posts about each other on social media. They'd see each other posts about one another, but there is no consistent monitoring of any accounts, which indicates trust and security in their relationships. This wouldn't be the case if they browse each other's liked posts and other interactions.
Okay. I have not ever felt envy or jealousy for relationships that are portrayed in the media of any kind. Relationships portrayed in the media are only a simulacrum of the actual kind, so it would be useless to feel that way about them.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever felt like envy or jealousy towards any media relationship of any kind. I think that's based on the individual, definitely.
I guess sometimes when you see other couples going on like elaborate dates and stuff, and things that just don't seem practical, like spending a whole week at Disneyland and stuff like that, like that'd be cool. But yeah, I guess so.
Social media hasn't necessarily made me jealous of other people's relationships, but I do see some cool ways that couples are interacting on the web or on the line. And a prime example is Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. I think they are one of the world's power couples, and they could possibly make me jealous, but I'm not going to say that I will never have a relationship like those two in the future.
According to the national website, the culture of consumerism also creates a void in us, making us feel that we are less than or not as whole if we don't have the latest. Combine that with the plethora of images of people and events that trigger our deepest insecurities, and we have a perfect recipe for pathological levels of envy and jealousy.
I do post about my relationship, not all the time, but I do. But definitely, like, my girlfriend is not involved in the process. I'm kind of just like, I posted this picture if you deal with it.
That's basically how it went when I was in a relationship for an extended period of time. And then it wasn't so much for the benefit of like getting likes or something, but to put an embarrassing photo of my girlfriend on social media and have her have to deal with it. It was fun.
No. The last post I had on Instagram was my girlfriend's birthday almost a year ago, and that was about it. So no, not at all.
Posting pictures of your loved one on social media can be a great way to show your affection towards them. Currently, right now, like I've mentioned before, I'm single. And I have not had a girlfriend since high school, and I'm not worried about it. I have posted pictures of girls that I've been in relationships with before. I don't devise up a contract or anything. If they want to post about me, share the love, that's cool. I'm always going to show the love first because that's the kind of guy I am.
The use of relationships in marketing and advertising saturates social media with inaccurate portrayals of perfect couples. If they weren't perfect before, whatever is being sold helps the couple to achieve happiness and satisfaction in their relationships. It is effective to use something that most people want for themselves when advertising. Just like other types of media, it can become a problem when people's idea of the reality of today's relationships is different from what it actually is. Problems can arise when people have different expectations of each other. However, this varies from person to person and depending on the rate of social media engagement.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Steele, and I recently worked with a startup called Smart Touch Interactive. And basically what they did was they were a software as service platform, and they helped home builders market their homes to the community. And so what I was in charge of is of social media, and so basically what I did is I depicted a story of David and Nancy, and they recently bought a home in North Austin, and we used like their relationship and their newlywed relationship to kind of build that campaign and story around them. And so what we did is we made a video featuring them of their house and like the amenities inside and kind of like depicting like what their life would be like in this new journey and in this new role that they would be soon going into. And so for this marketing campaign, we really wanted to focus on like the human interaction and the human relationship between those two, because as we know, the fundamental thing that we all crave is kind of love and like that belongingness to someone or a community. And so what we wanted to do with this marketing campaign on social media is like depict their relationship and show that they're personable, and that kind of emulates that this personal connection within this brand. And we wanted to depict that kind of home family life and market that kind of idea and that buyer persona for this brand. And
Life Beyond the Pixel reaches people, not just couples on the beach in front of a lens. Students at St. Edward's explain what their take is on #goals when it comes to romantic relationships. Some personal experiences match the research done on the issue, others not so much because each individual has their own story and individual preference. We found that society's goals on the individual goal face a big disconnect to reality. The individual response to posting on social media is showing their love or to embarrass the other in a playful way, while society sees the goal as a trendsetter and out to spend as much money to have the perfect picture to display a perfect relationship. Media companies like the one represented in our video use the persona of society's goal instead of the individual idea of a perfect relationship to capitalize on their profits.